I've worked with clinics that are literally just starting out and the ones that have multiple locations or doing multi seven figures a year and already started franchising. And the number one skill that differentiates the ones at the very bottom to the ones at the very top is literally just their ability to sell and consult in a way that the patient won't look anywhere else for help. And in this video, I'm going to reveal the exact framework and scripts top clinics and our seven-figure clinic partners are using to get so many new patients, it almost feels illegal. In this video, I'm going to run you through how to get so many new patients to actually close on a package or treatment plan. It feels illegal to do so. And I'm going to show you and give you the secret 15-10-5 framework we created to make sure all our clients and top clinic partners close at 80% in regards to all their consultations. And even if you don't realize this, not knowing this framework and applying it in your aesthetic or medical business is costing you thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. But who am I to judge or listen to? I'm currently working and scaling 50 clinics where I'm partnering up with them. They're pretty much part of a portfolio we're managing, or my team is helping them with, my team is managing, and we help them pretty much scale with acquisition, proven systems, and we've scaled 7 clinics to 100K months. And we've also got some of those clinics that have already been doing 100K months and now have been able to get to the next level. And most importantly, in regards to sales and why you should listen to me in regards to what we're going to talk about today, I myself close 80% of all calls I join. So I know a thing or two about how to get deals done. And the thing, and I'm just quickly going to make my camera smaller here, and the big issue we're facing here is people approach me, or you're probably living this yourself, whereas you're only getting low quality leads that tell you, hey, it's too expensive, or they cannot afford it, or leads that are going to think about it, and leads that want to do the treatment maybe in the future, but not right now. And I'm going to be very transparent, direct, and honest about this with you. And I prefer to have some of you feel offended by me saying this. But to tell you the truth, 99% of you that come with any of those excuses out there, yeah, it's just an excuse. And that's a big thing and something you have to face. And if those kind of things sound familiar, if you are getting the think about it, it's too expensive, I cannot afford it objection, all those kind of things, then I'm going to help you overcome all of that with our proprietary selling framework, the 15-10-5 system. So keep on watching if that's you. And the truth is, to really face it up front, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table by not really applying this. And I know I'm repeating myself. And the problem with this whole thing, or really what you're doing wrong, is you're not asking the right questions and get patients to emotionally open up within this consultation process. You're not building urgency to make sure the patient, hey, has a reason to even close on the spot. And you also treat objections as a stop instead of a green light or an opportunity to dive deeper into the conversation. And also, on top of that, you are afraid of rejection, so you don't even try to handle the objections, or you're afraid to introduce them to high ticket packages when in reality it's what they need. And ultimately, to kind of get rid of those issues and solve all of that once and for all for you, you need to understand the 3 reasons why people do not buy. Number 1, they do not see you as the authority and they don't trust you and your ability to solve their problem. Number 2, there is no urgency to act now and for them to fix this problem at all. And number 3, they don't have the money and cannot properly afford it upfront and whatsoever. Whereas though with this 3rd reason, this is something that can easily be fixed and solved at the end. This is just a logistical issue of providing them with a financing plan or financing options, or maybe even removing 1 or 2 sessions or treatments of the package or treatment plan to make sure you can find a solution. So it really just comes down to them not trusting you and seeing you as the perfect person to go to, or not a non-existing urgency in regards to them even wanting to fix this problem. And I'm going to be very transparent and honest with you. The whole reason I'm recording this video, but we even came up with this 15-10-5 framework, is I was super frustrated. We had all those clients, we were getting them 50 to 70 to 80 appointments, and they were just not closing them. And ultimately, especially in medical aesthetics, the cost for you to acquire a new client, it's always roughly going to be the same across all our portfolios, all the areas. It's always going to plus minus be the same. The biggest difference between super successful clinics and the ones that are not so successful is really just, again, the retention and how long a client stays active. What is the lifetime value? What does a client spend with you on average across their life? And this, again, led into the situation where I was super frustrated because we were getting great results, but still, like, our partners were not really able to get those very high revenue numbers, 50, 60, 80, 100,000s just through our system alone coming in. So we tested all those different approaches, frameworks, like tactics and techniques, and I even personally came in and did some virtual Zoom consults on behalf of some of our clients to come up with a framework that works. Until after days and months trial and error, one day I came up with this 15-10-5 framework, which absolutely changed everything. And suddenly our clients started to close at 80% or sometimes even more than that. And that's like the big transition, and the same thing this can do for you. So let's talk about the one and only 15-10-5 framework, the one thing you've been waiting for. First, we established the objectives. So the three things we want to focus on is we have to build urgency, we have to build trust, and we have to be able to solve financial barriers or overcome their concerns. So our ultimate goal, again, is to sell and consult in a way that they won't go anywhere else to look for help. And the 15-10-5 framework is pretty much you're going to spend 15 minutes asking questions and probing. You're going to spend 10 minutes of educating and showcasing the solution, and 5 minutes at the end of handling and solving objections, concerns, or logistics. And that's what it comes down to. So step one, in those first 15 minutes, we want to build urgency. And the way you want to do that is by building the gap and asking intelligent questions to get them to emotionally open up. A lot of the patients out there, they have existing problems you can help them with, but in a lot of cases, when they tell you, yeah, I need, like, this is too much, like, I don't want to spend that money or I cannot afford it, it's mostly just them telling you, hey, I don't think this is worth so much money. And that's why it's so crucial to ask those questions and get patients to emotionally open up. So we want to clarify where they're at right now, the red square here on the screen, why that's important to them, for how long this has been going on, what they've tried in the past, oh, how did that go? We want to get them to really emotionally open up about their situation, and maybe also get them to short-term become a bit uncomfortable if you know you can help them solve the problem. But then you also want to talk about where they want to be. So if you've talked about their current situation, ask and transition into their ultimate heaven island and where they want to be, what their dream body looks like, what they want to achieve, or what kind of solution they're looking for. Ask them those questions and build that gap. And then at the end, after those 50 minutes of probing and questioning, your offer and your services can be that bridge between point A and point B, and kind of be the solution to their problem. And by positioning this correctly, but also going super deep into where they're at right now and where they want to be, you can make sure they will not go anywhere else to look for help, and they will close on the spot because they have some urgency and they remind themselves of how big this problem is and that they want to get started with this right away. And you can also ask pre-qualifying questions or pre-handling questions like, hey, once you do find a treatment plan or solution to solve XYZ problem, like, how fast are you looking to get started? And by you asking this question, if you've done it correctly, they'll probably say, yeah, as soon as possible. And at the end, if they tell you, oh, they need to think about it, you know, they're just bullshitting you. It's like they literally told you if it were perfect, they would want to get started right away. And that's kind of how you can navigate the situation then at the end and kind of find a common solution. But that's really just the first 15 minutes. And the reason we want to have this 15 minutes is because it is the most important part. If you do this correctly, you can mess the rest up and they will still close. If you do this false, you can do the other things perfect and they will not close. So it's super crucial you master building urgency and building that gap. And then number two is after those first 15 minutes of asking questions, probing, and clarifying their situation, you want to start building trust and transitioning into showcasing what you can do and how you can help them. And again, consult in a way they see you as the expert with the perfect solution. So what you want to do in this stage is you want to have a phase of educating the prospect. You want to have you want to go through their problems and tell them and explain them why they have this problem. Get them to trust you and see you, hey, this is an expert. Hey, this person knows what they talk about. And with aging, you can talk about the 3Ds of aging. You can talk about all those various things of really the issue and why they even went into this situation and how this can be solved. And then number two is pretty much you're gonna showcase results, previous case studies, and super important here, you want to show and tell them of clients that were in the exact same situation as they themselves were. Because that way, this is going to get them or give them so much confidence. You can get them those outcomes they're looking for because you can literally just showcase a result of somebody that has been in the same situation. And a pro tip here I would highly recommend you do is have some sort of presentation on an iPad or maybe even like a physical booklet with case studies, before and afters, reviews, etc. And make sure overall, as soon as they walk into your clinic, like they feel that you're the authority straight away. Like the kind of music you listen to or that's in the clinic, the the surroundings, the sofa, the chairs, but also make sure maybe when they're waiting in the patient room or in the waiting room, they have some sort of magazine they can go through, like at the different treatments you do, have a look at previous before and afters. Like this is all part of the consultation process or selling process. But this is also important that whilst you're with them, after telling them, hey, this is why you've got the problem, this is why it exists, here's how we're able to kind of help XYZ and John and Lisa and Melissa to solve the exact same problem in the exact same situation. And now they're feeling more confident. They're able to wear their bikini again in summer, and they're pretty much living the body and the life they wanted to live before. If you tell them it that way, they're gonna be super down to proceed at the end of the consult. And then number three of this second phase is actually showcasing and positioning your solution as the best thing out there. So number one, you do in a certain way want to be a bit unique. You want to kind of showcase them a unique system or approach of getting them results. For example, if it's a treatment plan for body contouring, you can tell them, hey, look, week one, we're going to do this. Week one, week two, we're going to do this. And then after a month, you're going to do this. Like you want to give them a game plan, which to some sort of degree will differentiate you from a clinic that's just going to say, okay, you're going to need 6 sessions and 2 Morpheus sessions and 5 Forma, whatever it is. You want to present them with an actual plan personalized to their needs. And even if it's not personalized, you want to position it, frame it as if it were personalized. And that way you can really position your service and your solution as the perfect thing they're looking for. And a pro tip there too is, first, before you actually drop the price and everything, talk them through other solutions. For example, with body contouring packages, you can say, okay, look, I mean, full transparency, you've got multiple different options here, and I'm going to also run you through what we can do and how we can help you. You can do a liposuction, you can do a BBL, whatever it is. You can present them all those super expensive options and tell them okay, for a liposuction, you're probably going to have to pay $10,000 for it, blah, blah, blah. And then once you get to your package and solution, and you're going to tell them, hey, this is just $2,000 or just $4,000, they're going to be like, oh, wow, that's perfect. That's exactly what I need. And this is really phase number 2, building trust and also showcasing your solution as the thing they need. And then in stage 3, the 5 minutes at the very end is really just to find something that works for both of you. If they already, if they're not closed yet. You want to overcome their concerns, handle some objections, and if they have some sort of financial issues, that's just about problem solving. So offering them financing options or payment plan or whatsoever to make sure they can afford it. And if you're not, or if you're not able to handle this financial concern, it's just because they don't see the value of spending so much money for their outcome. Meaning you did not do a good job in stage number one of asking questions and probing and building urgency in regard to them solving the problem. And at the very end, one thing I would also highly recommend you do when it comes to overcoming those kind of concerns is present them with different options. For example, 3-tier packages where you can first pitch them the high ticket offer. And this is, by the way, a resource we give our clients internally. But if you want this, go to my Instagram, DM me, whatever, and I'll send it to you. That's not an issue. But you can pretty much showcase multiple different solutions and in terms of different price ranges. And even if, let's say, you start off by pitching the high ticket one, even if that's too much, you can say, okay, look, I definitely think you need this and this and this, but maybe we can kind of leave out XYZ. So if we take this off, we can kind of create something custom, and that would be, is that something you can afford? And then you can kind of downsell like that, and you're still going to get something for it. And this is really stage number 3. But again, if you do the first stage and most importantly, or first and second, but most importantly, the first stage correct, this will not be an issue anymore, and they will close without objections. And seriously, this 15-10-5 framework, if done correctly, will work every single time. And here, lastly, I also do want to kind of give you some bonus tips when it comes to the whole framework and selling packages and treatment plans. When downselling, one pro tip is always to ask for something in return. So instead of just giving them a discount, tell them, hey, look, if I'm ready to do and willing to do this, because we don't usually, like, are you willing to kind of send us a few referrals or leave us a review? Like, you want to downsell and get something in return for it. That way they're happy, but you're also not losing out. Number 2 is you can use memberships very well to downsell. If they want certain treatments for a discounted price, then tell them, like, or if you have existing memberships, get them to sign up to this membership and tell them, hey, look, we only give discounts away if you're a member. So let's get you signed up for a membership. It can be the lowest one, whatever you've got going on. And that way they can come in, they will still save money, and you've got monthly recurring revenue by adding a new member to your business. And in the end, if you fail with selling a package, just sell them on coming back at least once more, and then the same thing once again. If they do not want to even come back for a second appointment, then you've done something wrong, whether it's not building trust, whether it's not building urgency, or whether it's not kind of incentivizing them to come back. A patient consider themselves a lifetime patient after the 3rd visit, so just get them back for a second and third time, and you will change your business forever, because those patients will stay for a very long time. And that's really it with the whole kind of sales training and the 15-10-5-minute framework. Again, I think I'm repeating myself, but if you know how to do this and if you apply this, this will absolutely change the way you do business, the amount of money you make, and the amount of patients you get. Now, in the link below this video, you'll have a link of my website, of my company. Yes, we partner with clinics, possibly like yours, and help them get more patients through the door and ultimately grow their business to a super successful 6, 7, and multi-7-figure clinic. I'm not saying you have to click it. And yes, if you go there, there is a video of myself, presentation, and I'm trying to get you to book a call. This is super optional though. You don't have to click it. I'm just saying it's there to be clicked in case you're all looking for some external help. Other than that, I really appreciate you watching the video. The most important part about this framework is, again, number 1, or stage 1, which is asking the right kind of questions and get patients to emotionally open up. And once you've mastered this, you really just want to educate, build trust, and then handle their concerns away at the end. Remember, a sales conversation or consultation is also about finding common solutions and an offer which works for both the patient and you. So be willing to negotiate a bit and be willing to get a bit creative and custom depending on the patient, because in the end, it's you that's going to be paid for it at the end. Other than that, I don't have anything else more to say. If you've liked this video, it would do a massive favor if you just kind of leave a comment or like and subscribe. It massively supports this whole channel and all the effort I'm putting into those videos. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next one.